Hello everyone, welcome to another class to go. I am featuring the Scenic Coast bundle for my first class to go in July. You have until July 15th to earn this class to go for free. This bundle is phenomenal. I wasn't sure I was gonna like it. It wasn't even on my wish list when I first saw it, but my goodness, since I have gotten it, I am just in love. The cards that I've made are just phenomenal. I do not think you can make a bad card with this bundle. So we're going to use this bundle for our cards this week. I'm going to show you 4 cards, and you can earn the class to go for free simply by placing an order in my online store. I have 3 options to get the class to go kit for free. The first is a $50 order. You're going to get the class kit mailed to you. The second way to get it is a $100 order. You'll get the class kit, and you'll also get 5 bonus cards from my card basket. These are cards that I've used in past classes, or I've used for swaps or whatever, so they may not coordinate with the Scenic or the Sunset Coast bundle, but they're cards that you can use just as inspiration or for family and friends, whatever you want to do with them. They're just a little thank you gift from me to you. The third way to get the class to go for free is with a $150 order. That is going to earn you the class kit, the 5 free bonus cards, plus you're going to receive a full package of the embellishments that we're using for this class to go. And this one we're using the Pearls of Beauty, and they are just beautiful. These are some of my favorites. You get like crumb cake, calypso coral, and then white. And remember, with the white ones, you can color them with your Stampin' Blends to be any color you want. So this is really a great little package of embellishments, and you'll earn that a full package free with a $150 order. Now, all of the totals, the 50, the 100, and 150, are all before tax and shipping is added, and after any Stampin' rewards are added on one order. So make sure that you are watching those thresholds. All you need to do is shop in my online store. Remember to hit one of those thresholds, and you will qualify for the class to go for free. You will need the bundle to complete the cards. I do not include the bundle or any stamped images, and I do not die cut anything with this bundle. If you are, if there's another die cut from a separate die set, like I'll show you today, actually, that will be done for you. But otherwise, you will need the die set and the stamps. The bundle's not included, and I don't do any stamped images, so keep that in mind. All right, so today we are making this beautiful card. Now, one of the reasons I love this bundle so much is the DSP that coordinates with it. I've used a ton of this DSP, but I'll show you a couple of pieces. You can see that iridescent gorgeousness on it, and the other sides are nice and like kind of watercolory, but the DSP is really what sold me on this bundle. Just, I mean, look at that, just beautiful. This could be a card all on its own. So we are going to be featuring the DSP for a couple of the cards this week. I've die cut a piece for our card today, and I really picked up a lot of the colors from the DSP for our card today, and that's what we're going to do. So let's talk about our pieces here. So I actually have a Balmy Blue card base, and I have cut off, I think that's 3/4 of an inch. Yeah, I've cut off 3/4 of an inch from the front. Now, all of the measurements for everything that I'm doing are going to be listed in the video description, and they're also on my blog, so you can check that out if you want more details on any of these things. We're also using a piece of the Luxe White paper, and I think you can see it there. This paper is gorgeous. There's 3 different patterns. This is kind of like the basket weave pattern, but there are 3 different patterns, and they just have this subtle, shiny kind of background to them, and it is just beautiful, and I thought that would be great for just a little subtle background here. Now, I've already done some of my die cutting just to save some time. I've die cut like the net piece from the dies from the Scenic Coast, or I keep calling it the Scenic Coast, the Sunset Coast dies. I've die cut this little net piece here, and I've die cut the cloud, and these are both die cut from the Vellum that is in the suite of these products, and I forget what that's called, but you'll get a piece of the Vellum to do your die cutting. The Vellum is gorgeous. It's got, I hope maybe the cloud you can see it better. It's got a little bit of a sheen. I think it's called pearlized Vellum. Very pretty. And then we have a piece of the DSP, which is cut with the Stylish Shapes dies, and you get that little iridescent glow on it down there. So beautiful. And I've also die cut. Now for this one, I use the sailboat. This one, we're going to use the lighthouse. We're going to kind of interchange them this week just so you can see that you can really use whatever you want. You can see the circle kind of cut off here, but we're going to trim this up anyway, so I'm not worried about that, but you'll receive a piece of gorgeous grape to do this. But before we get all the assembling, let's do our stamping. And you can see this fun little label down here, and you're probably like, where did that come from? So I'm going to show you. Let's do some stamping. I've die cut, this is kind of a partial of the nested shapes dies, and I thought I had those out. Here they are. The nested essentials dies, not nested shapes, but it's the largest of this kind of the curved rectangle. And we're going to do some partial, or we're going to kind of modify it a little bit. So, but I want to stamp my greeting first. Now you will get in your kit, I will already have this piece die cut for you, but I want to show you how I'm die cutting that piece. Now I would, if I was doing this at home, well, I am doing it at home, but if I was doing this without the kit pieces, I would stamp first. Obviously yours will not be stamped, but if you're recreating this, you'll want to stamp first. So I'm going to stamp the greeting. We're using Gorgeous Grape ink, and I'm going to close this while we do the die cutting. We're going to come right back to this, but I'm going to pull my little machine out. You can use the big one or the little one, whatever you want. Grab my plates. Now we're going to take our die. Again, this is the largest of the rectangle die, and we are just going to kind of position it where we want it to go. Now, the good thing about this die is that there's like a stitched border, and so if you get the die just right, it'll kind of like click into that border. And I'm just going to move this down just a little bit, just make sure everything is nice and straight, that it's kind of like clicked in. And then I'm going to add a piece of tape, just a little piece of washi tape, just to hold this in place. But we're just basically going to run it back through so that we get that same curved border for the top and the bottom. And we've just modified this rectangle to be just a little bit smaller. So let me move this out of the way. The machine always takes up the whole camera space. So let's pull this off. Let's pull the tape off, and you can see that now you have that gorgeous like curved top and bottom. So pretty, right? So you will get this shape in your kit, but just know that it came from the Nested Essentials die. So you can see how that was modified to about half. Okay, so I wanted to share how we did that. Now let's go back to our stamping because we need to stamp our cloud border on the side here. So I have a piece of scrap paper. Let's see if I can find one. I have a little stack of them down under my desk. Okay. The Gorgeous Grape piece, this one is 1.5 by 5.5. And we're just going to stamp this cloud that's in this stamp set just as a fun background. And I'm going to do it kind of staggering where the cloud is. You don't want it to just be stack, stack, stack. Oh, I didn't do a very good job on that one. That's okay. It's all right. It'll all work out. So we're just going to kind of move the cloud around different places just so that it doesn't look too uniform. All right, clearly this is taking a lot of concentration. I can't talk at the same time. All right, almost there. Once you get the stamping done, the whole card goes together so quickly. This card is super simple, but so, so gorgeous. All right, we have one more thing to stamp with our Gorgeous Grape ink while it's out. We are going to stamp the greeting inside. It says, wherever this note finds you, I hope it finds you happy. So we're going to stamp that greeting on the inside. So let's move all these pieces out of the way. And I'm going to kind of dry fit where this is going to go because you don't want to stamp the greeting like directly in the center because the Gorgeous Grape piece on the inside might cover it up. So I'm just going to kind of dry fit where that's going to go. And then we're just going to kind of center it from there. I hope it finds you happy. Perfect. All right, that's all of our stamping. I am going to move this ink pad out of the way before my whole hand gets put in it. And we're going to get started hearing these down. So let's start with that Gorgeous Grape piece. I'm just using my Stampin' Seal. You can use whatever adhesive you want. I'm going to turn it this way so I can just line up those corners. Perfect. Just like that. Okay, let's bring in our Luxe White piece. And that one will go flat down. Just like that. This Luxe White paper is so pretty. I mean, it's just like the perfect little background when you want like a subtle background. It's so perfect. All right, I'm going to adhere the little net piece down. I'm just going to put some adhesive directly on here. We're going to cover this part up with the circle, so I'm not worried about that. I'm just going to kind of figure out just kind of how I want that net piece to go. And this will go over it like that. I think I'm going to go a little bit lower with it. Yeah, so let me add just another little bit of adhesive here, just to make sure everything stays nice and glued down there. All right, now to further secure that down, I'm going to put a couple little dimensionals. These have been cut. These are little half pieces, but I'm going to put a few dimensionals there just to make sure that it stays nice and adhered, that little net piece. It's pretty delicate, so it's harder to adhere it down. Now you could die cut it on an adhesive sheet, but I kind of like that it kind of lifts up a little bit. I think that adds some fun texture. All right, we're going to add our circle here, just like that. So pretty. I mean, this could be a card all by itself, just like this. Isn't it gorgeous? All right, let's go to this piece here. So I'm going to trim this. Now, like I said with the sailboat one, you can use either one. I just cut the sailboat one straight across. There's a little wave line here, and I just cut it straight across on the wave line. Now, for the lighthouse, we're just going to kind of cut it along where the little rocky hill ends on the top here, and where the little rocky hill ends on the bottom. And I'm just going to kind of curve down just so it looks like the little cliff keeps going. All right, and this is going to get glued directly onto our paper just like this. I'm going to use liquid glue. Glue dots would work. You can also pop this up on dimensionals if you want. I'm going to keep my glue kind of in the center. And I'm not putting it on everything, but I'm just keeping it in the center because the ends are going to hang off. And we're just going to place that down just like that. And while we have this liquid glue out, I'm just going to put a little bit on the back with of that vellum piece and just stick that vellum down. It's so shiny. You can't really see the glue through this vellum because of that pearlized texture. The glue kind of just disappears. All right, now our greeting, we're going to stick this on. We're going to use some dimensionals for that. So I'm going to grab a few dimensionals. Now don't put them all the way on the edge here on the right because that's going to hang over our edge. Remember, our card is not a full card front. It's been trimmed a little bit, and it's going to hang off just a little bit. So just like that. Beautiful, right? All right, we're just about done, but we want to add some embellishments. We're going to use these Pearls of Beauty. I'm going to add 3 of these white ones. I'm going to use 1, and just a couple over here by the greeting. And I just use my take your pick tool to do that. And that is day 1. Super simple. I mean, the stamping is probably the hardest part of this, but you can see the difference between the lighthouse and the boat. So let me know in the comments, do you prefer boat or lighthouse? And remember, if you want the class to go, all you need to do is place an order in my online store, minimum $50 to get the class to go for free, and I will send that out to you. I'll be back tomorrow with day number 2. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up and don't forget to hit that subscribe button to subscribe to my YouTube channel so you never miss a video. Thanks a lot, guys. Bye.